Letty looked very fit. Is he going to be available for this weekend?
Yeah, look, Letty, just had a fair bit of swelling and soreness over the weekend. It looks like it's settled down reasonably well. Looks like he got through training. So again, we'll just see how he pulls up this afternoon, but some promising signs for us, I think.
Likelihood, do you think that he is pushing for that selection and you expect him to play?
I'm hopeful, yeah, especially the way that he went about it today. Again, we'll assess how he pulls up over the next 24 hours, but the signs were good today for sure.
Is there a chance that him and Matt Crouch play the same team?
Yeah, look, we're going to have, literally after this, we're going to have a chat about selection this week and see what our mix looks like. Obviously, there's a couple of forced changes this week with the unfortunate outs of Murray and Rankin. So we'll assess what our mix looks like across all lines, midfield included, to see what our look is going to be. But as I said, we'll have those chats in the next hour, 2 hours.
Big Irishman looks like he's pretty close.
Yeah, we've got a number of guys that are playing some really strong footy, behind the ball in particular. You mentioned Mark Keane, James Borlase, Will Hamill, to name a few guys that have been playing. Paddy Parnell didn't play on the weekend too, but been in some strong form. So with Nick out of the team, you've seen in previous times when we haven't had either Jordan or Nick available, doesn't necessarily mean we go like for like. So we'll have that discussion this afternoon around what sort of mix we want behind the ball. But thankfully we've got some guys in some good form at SANFL.
Will he play this week at either level, or do you give him another week off?
Yeah, again, that's a chat we'll have. Looked like he got through training well today, seeing how he feels physically. Also, I guess physically and mentally, having the week off and being able to refresh and regroup to attack the back end of the year. So again, it's going to be part of our conversations back end of the day and what our mix looks like behind the ball, because on the weekend, Luke Nankervis couldn't really have done too much more than what he did. He was really impressive for us. So the signs are good that guys in our SANFL team are putting pressure on, and when they come up, all of them are performing.
Crouch really seems like he's gone away and worked on his game in the SANFL. How stiff would it be for him to be dropped, and did you see those improvements on the weekend?
Yeah, look, again, as I said, everyone that came up from the SANFL on the weekend, I think there was 4 of our players. You mentioned Matty Crouch, Jackson Haitley as well, Braden Cook, all came up and played, I guess, their role for the team. And what we've said all year is we've had some really strong SANFL form, and whenever we've called upon them, they've come up and played their role. And that's I guess a testament to Mick Godden and the boys at the SANFL for keeping the boys on edge. And whether we make a couple more changes this week, we'll have that chat this afternoon. But it's pleasing that the guys, Matty included, can come in and play exactly what we need of him.
What about the guys that missed with illness? Do you expect them to all be available this week?
Yeah, it looks like they got through training and felt better today. So a couple of them were really close on Sunday. It was just a matter of, you can sometimes feel good after getting over a little bit of illness, but we opted just to play the precautionary approach. So again, we're 3 days post-game now, so looks like they're feeling good, got through training. So unless there's something untoward happens in the meantime, it looks like they're going to be okay.
Just on Mark Keane, he hasn't played for 2 years. He's played a full season now in the SANFL. Do you have confidence he can come in and play in a showdown?
Yeah, look, it's one that, as I've already said a number of times in the press conference already, is that regardless of what game we've played, whether it be Melbourne at the MCG or whether it be in the Showdown this week, we've got confidence in our form below. So Mark's certainly one of those guys who's been playing some strong footy, and if he's required this week, we'll back in that he plays a role within our system.
How tough is this Port Adelaide side to face this weekend?
Yeah, there's a reason why they sit where they do on the ladder. They've played some outstanding footy and challenged teams in a unique way. So we know them better than most teams, and we understand the challenge that's presented this week. And we firmly know that we have to be at our best in and around the footy to bring the contest, because they've got some strengths in the contest, outside the contest, that can certainly break games open if we don't get it right. So a big test for us, but we'd also like to back ourselves in and think that we know our best is good enough.
Talked about you guys finishing kind of in the top 4 earlier this season. How devastating would it be for the crosstown rivals to all but ruin the finals chances?
Oh, look, we firmly know what the back end of the year looks like for us in the equation. But in saying that, we're still really buoyed and optimistic by the footy that we have played for the vast majority of the year. Yes, some results haven't gone our way, and we're bitterly disappointed by that, and we'll keep getting better so that they do fall our way more often than not. But we're confident we're in a really good space to attack this game and the back end of the year to put ourselves in the best shape come September. And if we're good enough, we're good enough. And if we're not, that's work for us to go and improve on for next year and beyond.
Is there still confidence the guys can finish in the A this season amongst the group?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we know our best is good enough. We've shown that, I reckon, every week. Last week included against, I guess you look at the top 4 teams in the comp at the moment. We've challenged them all in very different ways and played some of our best footy against them. So that's more than evidence enough for us, and no doubt for our fans and supporters as well.
Legal matter, obviously, with the Bond brothers as well. I guess from the former captain's point of view, what are your kind of thoughts and feelings on that? I know you can't really comment on that.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually not across all the detail. It's disappointing and unfortunate that these things do come to the fore. But what I do know is that we've got a really fierce rivalry on field, the two clubs. But I guess probably more importantly, we do a lot of great work together in the community. You see with the variety of kids we've got down at training today, that's the work that's most important. So this week, giving back to variety and acknowledging the work they do for a lot of the kids in our community is really important. So we more reflect on that for us this week.
How disappointing is it to not see it kind of out and about the Shield, I guess, the trophy this week?
Oh, look, as I said, I'm not really across all the detail on it. It's not going to at all change the way that the contest is played on the weekend, and first and foremost, that's what we're focused on.
I think, your text walkers, you as a former captain, would you have liked to see a photo of maybe you possibly on the Shield?
Oh, I'm all right. I don't know. It's never been about me, and it never will be.
Can I ask a question
Sure, Paul.
about your selection meeting you're about to have?
Yep.
You just sort of answered it there, but in terms of All A's being a possibility this week, does your discussion at all include the fact who the opposition is and the background to all that, about his likely...
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a huge part of our selection discussions is matchups. And I sort of mentioned earlier around it doesn't always mean we go like for like, and that's based on what the opposition present to us as well. So again, I know Scotty Burns is all over the matchups and what that looks like, and whether we can play smaller, we need to play taller, etc. So they're definitely part of the conversation we have at match committee this afternoon. But as I said, thankfully, all guys in consideration are in form.
And just one general question about this season. You're a 3-goal better team statistically in terms of your scoring, and you're a goal better defensively than you were. Can you speak to how you've been able to get those improvements? What do you think, or what are you most happy with?
Yeah, look, I guess we haven't really reflected on the whole year to date, but I think from a system point of view, it's a noticeable change in the way that we've played our footy this year. The brand and how we want to go about it has certainly been more evident. We challenge teams in a much more, emphatic fashion when we've done it, versus just being contest-based and scrapping it out. We've actually played with some real method that's challenged the best teams in the comp, and defensively we've certainly improved, as you noted, as well. So that growth we certainly have hoped for, and we've shown it. And I said there's obviously some steps forward in terms of just getting the job done now when the opportunity presents in close games and when those games are up for grab for us. So some really pleasing signs, but a lot of work to do. We're nowhere near a finished product.